Hi, this is Paul at School Bus Talk. On this episode of School Bus Talk, we're going to do a incident report on a school bus crash in Greece, New York. Greece, New York is a suburb of Rochester, New York in upstate New York. The crash happened on Thursday, March 7th, 2024 at approximately 2:40 p.m. at the intersection of Greece Road and Peck Road. Google Maps shows that the neighborhood is large lot residential development. Let's look at the Google street level images. Here is the look south on Greece Road, and this is the look west on Peck Road. Crash reports state that the school bus was southbound on Greece Road when an elderly motorist going west on Peck Road failed to yield and crashed into the left side of the bus, causing the bus to overturn onto its left side. The collision caused a domino effect, and two other vehicles were involved in the bus crash. From the crash scene photos, it looks like the weather was fair, visibility good, and the pavement dry. It looks like the elderly motorist that failed to yield was in a black vehicle that had extensive front end damage. The airbags were deployed. It also looks like the first responders may have had to remove the driver's side door to extract the victim from the crash. The other two cars, a silver SUV and a dark-colored sedan, appear to have been going northbound on Greece Road. The SUV looks to have suffered moderate damage. The school bus had 5 people on board, a driver, 2 attendants, and 2 16-year-old students. It looks like the bus was evacuated through the overhead escape hatch or through the rear emergency door. The posted speed limit on Greece Road is 35 miles an hour or 56 kilometers per hour. A neighbor to the crash site who was first on the scene said about traffic conditions at the intersection.
This is actually a pretty common problem around here. This is a busiest intersection. We really need a light here. This happens all the time, and unfortunately this time kids were involved.
All the crash victims on the school bus, as well as the elderly motorist, were taken to the hospital, treated, and released. There's no information in the news reports on the condition of the driver of the sedan or SUV. My heart goes out to all the victims of this school bus crash, especially the victims on board the bus and the elderly motorist. It must have been a terrible shock after the collision and the bus flipping onto its side. Police issued a citation to the elderly motorists for, quote, disobeying a traffic control device, end quote, or running a stop sign. This school bus crash illustrates the defensive driving principle of recognition, action, and collision, or RAC. RAC is a spatial theory of safety zones around a vehicle. The first zone is recognition. In this zone, a driver recognizes a hazard. In the second safety zone, the driver takes action to avoid the hazard. In the third zone, it's kind of the point of no return, where if the vehicle enters this zone, there is going to be a collision. It appears to me that the driver of the school bus had no time to recognize or act on the hazard of the elderly motorist running the stop sign, and this bus crash went instantly into the collision zone. There was no time or space for the school bus driver to act to avoid the collision. I think it's very fortunate that Nobody was seriously injured in this school bus crash. I hope that authorities take seriously the concerns of the neighbor over intersection safety. In addition, there should be a review of the elderly motorists for possible driver's license revocation. That wraps up this episode of School Bus Talk. Remember, safety is essential.